What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another major market breakdown. Listen, okay, I'll be talking probably a little bit fast. You can slow down the video a little bit. It's because of the fact that I recorded the whole video and the microphone was muted, so nothing was heard while I was playing it back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing was heard. So we're gonna get through it a little bit on the quicker side. DXY gave us this push off of this area that we were expecting from last week's episode. I hope you guys tapped in so you guys knew what was going on. But it gave us a reaction off this level, not a reaction exactly how I thought it was gonna be. I thought the reaction was gonna be a little bit more along the lines of like stoppage here and then a push up. But it melted through this level and then pushed higher. And that why that's even more significant is because of the fact that let me go on my daily time frame here. You have this major level, right? That was just melted through, right? So these lows here kind of created a floor for the dollar, a short-term floor for the dollar, and that's been broken. So we can expect to see follow through on that, sooner rather than later. Say we do have. Let me go over here to show you what I'm talking about. Let me go back. Share this tab instead. Tomorrow we have ISM manufacturing on the dollar, so that could probably push us into our zones. Manufacturing's been okay. Jolt's job openings, that's probably the next day going to be what pushes us back lower, because I think those job numbers are going to be it's forecasted to be better, but I think it's gonna be worse. But I mean, we're gonna trade after the fact, not before the fact. We're gonna have employment change and unemployment rate from NZD, and our NZD trade from last week was freaking crazy. Matter of fact, I want to go over here and kind of show you where I set it up first. Hold on, this is the video from last week. All of you have already, dropped your email and got our and whatnot. Ultimate Guide to Precision Trading completely for free. Where I'm kind of, letting y'all know y'all can get a free course and whatnot. Also, while setting up that trade, come back over here. The NZD trade was crazy. I had to open up the box because it just started freaking running away, and I'm like, man, I'm not finna get out. Not finna get out at all. Not finna get out at all. This is what that looks like. Now. The risk to reward was freaking crazy, and so towards the end of the week we ended up setting up another trade this here, and I've actually kind of I'm looking at it like the level where I think the dollar will initially give us a push off of. I don't think we'll hold it back. I think we'll end up getting more of a trickle down towards this area, and that'll be, I think, any kind of any bad dollar news will go ahead and push this to the upside, and we'll be of course managing our risk lightly. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You guys are gonna trade safe and smart. Not gonna over risk or over leverage just because I'm right most of the time or anything like that. For some odd reason, I'm not sure if it's a Google update or a A1 update, but I can't switch over to the Edge Finder right now to show you, how I usually show everything. I'm gonna have to figure that out off camera, because for some odd reason I could switch. I could toggle between Google profiles inside of tabs, and now they're it's not letting me do that. So I'm not sure if that's right. Like I said, a Google update or an A1 update, but let's take a look at all our majors real quick. I'm expecting, similar to NZD USD, I'm expecting the euro to fill in a little bit more of this area here and give us as much of a discount as possible. Now, we may get stoppage before this area, and if we do, I'll probably end up going ahead and getting in there. But I'll say one more time, this is not financial advice. I'll be looking for stoppage. If this level rolls over here, I'm personally not gonna get out unless this level here breaks. Right, this level here breaks, I'll get out. I wouldn't like it to lose too much more momentum than this area here. But if we do, I wouldn't take it as too much of a sign of weakness. Of course, barring any amazing dollar data that decides to come out. Um, which I don't foresee any amazing, crazy, great dollar data coming out. NZD Chef trade's been amazing, and I'm looking to get more entries on it. I'm surprised it's been kind of held down to where it's at, but yeah, in regards to seeing gold do what it's done, in the U.S. paper markets, at least, um, it, contextually it makes more sense why this hasn't broken out crazy, because of the fact that our metals have gone down. This tends to move not super duper with it, but fairly well with the metals market here. If there's money flowing into the metals market, it's usually metals flowing into the NZD from the CHF, because the CHF is such a safe haven asset. But this whole accumulation here, I've just honestly loved to, like, get a really clean breakout. But with it staying pretty, having a pretty solid score on the edge finder, it lets me kind of stay in that bias. And it didn't roll over. Like, none of these pullbacks were it rolling over and kind of breaking out of this accumulation zone that it's kind of made here. So I like this. I still like this to the upside. And I my extended TP is looking better and better as we as more data comes out, and as we go through these trading days. So any kind of pullbacks, I'm taking as opportunities, and then but I'm really looking for a breakout and a pullback kind of a setup though. For this to kind of give me some more opportunities. I'm in it, stop loss and profit, just a little bit. I believe my closest trailing stop loss is like just under this low. But I have like two or three entries still sitting here, and I'm looking to build more on that position there. I know we're kind of getting through it a little bit faster than usual. That is because I recorded it once, and none of it was actually saved. USDJPY is giving us a pullback off of some stoppage here. Let me mark this level because it's probably gonna melt through here once we get back to it. But just to kind of give us a gauge, we have a slight, very small gap in price here where it gapped down. I believe we'll close this gap here, and we may not trade too much, too far above it. If I'm being honest, I didn't even see that little position right there. This is a pretty big gap in price, but the dollar is on the weaker side, and we'll have to see how the news plays out. If I go into this candle a little bit more, we can probably find, this area right here is probably another good area of interest where I'd expect to see, if this price doesn't hold dollar down, I'd expect this level here to like bears to step in, like, okay, time to sell some more dollar. So we're gonna see how the week plays out. You guys are gonna tap into the live show. We have a new face. I'm excited to introduce you guys to a new face, Eric. He's a crypto guy, and let me go ahead and pull up Bitcoin while I'm talking about it. He's a crypto guy, super smart. He hits on a lot more of the liquidity macro drivers in the market. Not as much a buy here sell here guy as me or Jim, but he's gonna help you guys understand really from a high level standpoint what's going on in these crypto markets, and he has a way more extensive knowledge of what's going on than I do personally. I don't like to speak to things that I'm not as versed in. I'm a Forex guy. I when it comes to interest rates and foreign funds policies and things like that, that's my area of expertise. That's where I'm versed at analyzing, going through, breaking down. All right, so that's why I stick to that. I'm not gonna overplay my knowledge base by attempting to analyze it as deep as I would want to. You know what I mean? Like I would a forex pair or even an indice or gold. But to make sure that we can give you guys as much value as possible, that's why we're bringing on more people that have more expertise, so our team can really be as value driven as possible. So tune into the live show every single morning from about 8:30 a.m. EST to about noon. Every single day you'll get me talking about forex, Jim talking about stocks. Some days Jeffrey's gonna be on. He's our lead business analyst, so he's basically hitting on all of this from a business standpoint, essentially. So all of our entrepreneurs can really understand what's going on and how they should be moving, kind of based on that. So you're getting the mix of the real mix of how politics is kind of affecting everything from Jeffrey's perspective, and we're looking to bring on some more faces, so it's gonna get more and more valuable. We're trying to kind of build up an even longer daily live show, so we're going from Monday to Thursday. Some Fridays we'll hop on, some days we won't, but the core show is Monday to Thursday. So make sure you guys tap in, hop on that, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell icon. All that is going to tell the algorithm this is good content, needs to get pushed forward. And if you have not already, use the Bird's Eye tool. It is completely free. You guys don't have to sign up or do anything to use it. You just go there and use it. I personally use this in like my daily trading every day. I don't take a trade without going to my own tool and seeing where the momentum is. You're going to see incoming bullishness, incoming bearishness, or neutral. That's it. One of three things that's going to help you understand, your positioning in the markets, whether you should be taking a trade or waiting for a better position in the markets. That's why I built the tool, to aid in the execution factor of trading, because a lot of people, they kind of understand what's going on, where the market is headed, but execution is where a lot of folks fall short, and that's why I built this tool, and it's completely free. You guys don't have to, like I said, you guys don't have to pay anything. You don't have to sign up. Just go to thebird'seyetool.com. Again, thebird'seyetool.com. One more time, thebird'seyetool.com. Boom. And you guys have that at your disposal. I suggest saving it to your home screen on your phone. I have it saved to mine. Eventually, I want to get this, in like the apps, not officially in the App Store. But that's a lot of extra rails right now. Especially for something that I'm just like, letting you guys use completely for free. All right. So I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.